I'm Joe Normal, and you're watching Guitar Tales with Dave Cohen and Scott Guitarmas Asengo. Have a rockin' day.
You know, for all the times that we have some of the greatest guests one could ever hope for, I have to admit that my favorite shows are when Scott and I chew the cud, so to speak, and chat about rock, chat about music, chat about lives and things like that. And this is one of those shows, but there's a lot going on in music this week we'll be chatting about, including one of maybe my very favorite band, maybe even more than The Who, which is Rush. But before we get to that, we have some wonderful sponsors we'd love to acknowledge. If we could roll a little tape, as they say, and then we're going to get right into the meat of things. First of all, in Asbury Park, Confections of a Rock Star. I can think of some great nights when Scott, Aaron, and I are walking around Cookman Avenue. We scoot in there, we get some delicious food. We bring back some delicious food for people and pups, as does the wonderful and amazing Alice Cooper. He's there all the time. He actually works the front desk over there. And inside the building, if you'd like a little bit of deliciousness, you're going to grab yourself a little Andy's burger. Fantastic burgers, cheesy fries. Look how much that guy likes them. Look how much the kids like them. So go to Cookman Avenue. This is the time of year. It's warm. It's wonderful. Catch some music. If you're lucky, you could see David Lee Roth in Asbury Park and then go there, and you'll like that better than seeing David Lee Roth in Asbury Park. Come on in, Scott. Let's talk about this stuff.
Greetings and salutations.
There you go.
I just finished watching a Seinfeld episode.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So these are, my favorite shows. By the way, cheers, Mr. Scott. Cheers.
I am on staycation.
There you go.
I'm not promoting Bud Light, but I will give a shout out to Bar Anticipation. I will be there at the end of the month with the Smoking Jackets on June 27th with Mush Mouth and Suit and Mai Tai. 3 bands,
Very
one
nice.
big show outside at the Bar Summer Stage.
Oh, that'll be fabulous.
Improved sound stage there.
Bar is absolutely fabulous.
And I'm bringing, which thumb is it? This monstrosity for one song. I got it working good enough. Imported from China, so the quality when I got it was awful. It was an impulse drunk purchase. I don't recommend you surf guitars when you're drinking, kids. Don't try that at home. But I ordered this thing and I was like, wow, that looks great. And then I played it and every string popped out of the nut on the 12-string side.
Oh, that's great. That's great. How heavy is it?
Very heavy. Very heavy.
Yeah.
So I'm good for a 3-minute song, and that's pretty much
I actually, when I was watching your latest reel, my back started hurting just watching.
I did do a reel playing Wanted, which is what is the song we're gonna play with this guitar. And so I've got the nut fixed, I got the action fixed, and good enough, as they say in rock and roll. Good enough.
It'll work. So we're doing a great show tonight on some goings on in rock right now, and and in my opinion, or at least for me, my very favorite thing that we're about to chat about is Rush. And anyone who drums, which is you, I know. But you know what's happening? Oh, he did. So right now, under my arm, I've got my daughter's dog.
Oh, dual dogs.
Yeah, and then Bo is quite jealous. Let me straighten out my camera there. So he's a little jealous. But in any event, look at that. So,
whoa, hold on, everybody. Whoa.
So
it's like a Star Trek episode.
It is. It is like one. When they fake the and it worked. We all bought it. We all bought into it. So, a real drummer like you will say that some of the drums fills and Tom Sawyer are not the toughest things Neil Peart ever did. But that being said, concert number one, June 8th, 7th, 6th, I forget which one, in LA.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think at the Kia Center. They get to those familiar fills, and Annika nails them. She does a beautiful job. And as she's nailing each one, the crowd is cheering in appreciation. Then the song has some little bit of quietness, not really, but a little bit of quietness when she completes the fills. And then there's a swell. The crowd just audibly says, "Welcome to our family."
Right,
and you get just a little smile from Annika. And in my opinion, that is a seminal moment in rock and roll. And I think it's what, in many regards, separates Rush from a lot of the other rock bands. I mean, you and I are of a certain age when Sammy replaced Dave.
And way back when we used to call Neil Peart Neil Peart.
That's right.
Nobody said
no. And back then it was like, oh, you suck, you're no David Lee Roth. And then then the Sammy people like, oh, at least he could sing. And it's all this sort of, there's a little bit of competition, a little bit of ego.
Yeah.
But the Rush crowd is different.
I was at some of the early Van Halen shows with Sammy.
And me too. I never got to see.
No Dave posters with, Dave with a big circle and an X cross,
And Rush is different. Rush is like, you know what? If Geddy and Alex say she's okay, we say she's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole vibe leading up to it, people like, welcome to our family, welcome to the Rush family.
Those two guys were beaming on stage with her. They kept looking back at her, and if you know anything about seeing a Rush show, they never really looked back at Neil when he was playing. As far as I can remember, they never really interacted with him. He was just sort of doing his own thing back there, and they were just doing their thing in the front.
Yeah.
They didn't really wander towards the back of the drum.
No, they did not. And you knew he would, he's the professor. We knew he would do perfectly every show. But here there was a little bit of, I don't mean drama in a bad way, drama in a good way. Everyone's like, can she do it? Can she do it? She's filling the biggest seat, John Bottom, and he has a few others, and Keith Moon and all that. But for my money, I might put him as number one, for me anyway. And she did such a beautiful job, and there was such support that, to me, in the last 5-10 years or so, this equals what we saw when Hart performed Stairway to Heaven. And you see Robert Plant at the Kennedy Center with a little tear coming out of his eye.
Doing this, I remember.
Yeah.
By the way, this does not help you stop crying if you want to ever try this at a funeral or something.
All right, I'm not going to do that then.
Whatever this is.
But it does help with a booger if you have a little thing in your nose.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. Like I've watched that clip and I have teared up watching it.
Yeah.
And I've watched online people say they keep coming back to it. And I think it speaks volumes about what makes Rush a little different. It's like when they got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and they got a standing ovation, 5-10 minutes long. Right. And there's such love for this band.
And the legendary blah, blah, blah speech was great too.
Oh, it was phenomenal. And he did it with such emphasis and such conviction.
And oddly, we knew exactly what he was talking about, even though he didn't say a word.
Yeah, and I used to think he was the weakest link in Rush, but he's not. I'm re-listening to the leads. There's no weak link, but his leads, they're creative, they're perfectly performed.
He fills in a lot the sonic space. He fills in a lot of the empty areas.
Yeah,
it's always fat. Like, he'll play an E chord in a weird different way with a couple of notes held down on the high end. I mean, if you ever sat down and really tried to learn a Rush song, even the chords for the prefacing the big drum fill in Tom Sawyer, those chords are all weird and unique, except for the first E chord. The rest of them are all, I don't know what the names are. I don't know names of chords, but definitely not your normal run-of-the-mill chord. Very full and very sonically interesting. There's extra notes in there.
No,
just a regular power chord.
Yeah, he's so innovative. And I think I've probably over the years, because Getty is so fantastic and Neil is so fantastic, I probably took him for granted, you
Yeah.
know, or the fact that, Getty's playing 12 instruments at once, he,
Yeah.
at
He's
least, but
getting a
this
little
tour,
help now. They have a keyboard guy too.
yeah, I think that's fabulous because it's nice for him to have the physical freedom to move around. I mean, he's not like this huge, he's not a David Lee Roth on stage,
No,
you
he's not
know.
doing any kick jumps or anything, but
No, but he's moving around, and I'm sure that
it's
must be
nice that
very freeing for him.
he doesn't have to worry about, different things on the keys, or the other guy can handle the keys, you
Yeah, and
know.
I'm sure, I mean, that responsibility, like, I used to tell people who didn't know Russian, who aren't musicians, left hand on the bass, right hand on the keyboard,
Mhm.
feet on the pedals, mouth on the microphone, singing
Right.
and doing all of those things at once, which
Yeah.
is
While
just
yelling at the
absolute.
bass tech. He had trouble
Oh,
with
yeah,
his
I
bass
saw
again.
that. Yeah, yeah. But
He's
I'm
playing this intricate shit on the bass, and he's yelling at the guy like, "What the fuck is wrong?" or whatever the hell it is.
yeah,
And he
yeah,
didn't even look at his hands. He's just like, it's this muscle memory, and he's just playing the fuck. I didn't even know what song they were playing, but he was killing it as usual, and he still had
yeah,
like he must have. We have two sides to our brain. He must have six.
yeah,
He
it's
could,
really
he's able to
amazing
so
what
many
he can.
things at once.
It's truly amazing. I'm seeing them, at Madison Square Garden August 3rd,
You got your
and
tickets and everything, right?
got my tickets. We got an inexpensive hotel, and I forgot where we're staying, but I got a good deal on a hotel. Just it's like a Monday night or something, I forget. Um,
Listen, there's nothing wrong with the Holiday Inn. It's Holiday Inn Express. It's fine.
it's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Free
But
breakfast.
I remember back in the day when, we used to I saw Yes, I saw The Who, I saw Foreigner, I saw one of the Winder Brothers, I forget which one. I know you just posted on, I think on
Edgar.
John. Did he open for Foreigner? I posted my ticket from
You
Foreigner.
probably saw Brother Edgar
I think
with
I
the
did.
playing the keys, he plays sax and everything.
I don't even remember. I was literally 14 at the time.
Oh, well, it might have been
But
Johnny Winter.
yeah, but going back, I didn't want to have to do the thing where you have to be on the train by 12:30 a.m. or you're in the city for the night.
Right.
So, but I think more than most concerts, the community of Rush fans is going to be really special. And I don't think I've actually ever seen them before. And I've been a Rush
Mm,
fan
mm.
forever. I mean, right here, this is it. This is when I
Neil
joined the
Peart
band.
need to fly, yeah.
No Neil Peart's Need Apply. That's my old band. And that's how I met my lifelong friend Tato I talked to 15 times a week,
Right.
you know, by just forming a band and we're like, we suck. No
The
Neil
other
Peart's.
person that's really
Yeah.
winning in this Rush thing is the, endorsements that Annika has, and, Tama drums are on the stage now
Oh,
behind Rush,
okay.
and they couldn't be any happier. They gave her a brand new kit that she had to set up. Um, if you saw, Rick Beato's, interview with her,
I
and if
did
you
not.
haven't, I strongly urge you to watch it. If you're a drum person, you're not a drum, but if you are a drummer, there's so many takeaways in that interview. It's fantastic. A lot of things I didn't even, realize. She's using ProMark drumsticks, and don't know who the cymbals are, but I think they might be Zildjian, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But one of the things that she did when she set up her regular drum set is, um, normally you just have the smaller toms come
Okay.
first, and then you work your way down to the big ones. Well, she swaps them out, so
Hmm.
it's like big, small, medium, this kind of a thing. Um, and she just has her kit set up traditionally, which is like, 12, 13, 14, 16, 18-inch floor tom. Um, and I did notice that sonically, the drums sound pretty close in tuning. They're very low tune, and she confirmed that, yes, she has them tuned so low that they're almost not even vibrating. They're really loosely tuned.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And she's got
Well,
the one bass drum, but I guess she has the double pedals.
and I'm not hearing any negativity at all.
No, it's fine.
You know, yeah,
But when she said, "This is my drum kit," and everyone's like, "Oh, that ain't big enough. How are you gonna play Rush?" You could play Rush with
yeah,
a three
yeah.
piece if you were good enough. So she's perfectly comfortable with her setup, and I think it sounds great. And she's got lots of little traps and different things.
And she's adding I think the right amount of her own flavor. I mean,
Mm,
it's, 70, 80, 90% Neil,
yeah,
but it's not 100% Neil, and you don't want no one wants it to Neil doesn't want it to be 100% Neil when he's watching over her,
right,
you
right,
know? Uh, but the fans are thrilled. But what's interesting to me that I don't think anyone could have predicted, she's the story right now.
right.
You know, it went from being, just another, band full of old people. They're not as old as some of the other bands like The Who and the Stones and all that, but they're older. And instead, there is a freshness about it, and their
Mm,
choice was just brilliant to
right.
get someone, to not borrow some 70-year-old respected male drummer,
But
you
you
know.
have to agree, though, at the very first time we heard about this, there was a level of skepticism and even outrage, right? That
Yeah,
it's a girl drummer nobody's ever heard of. How come you didn't get Mike Mangini? How come you get this guy, that guy? And after everybody settled down and started looking up her videos, oh, she played with Jeff Beck.
right,
Oh,
right, right. Yes.
oh, okay. Maybe they know more than we know.
Yeah, I didn't see that much of that. There are always, I mean, I'm still, when I always go to the comments, and there's still those people, you'll still find the people who say she's no Neil Peart.
Right,
She's
right.
she's no Neil Peart.
Listen, Neil
But
invented these licks and drumming out of thin air, right? That it's his
yeah,
product, it's his creation. Now she's given the task to copy that creation, right?
yeah,
There's a level of creativity on her part as the drummer to put her little spin on or whatever, but at the end of the day, she's got a basis of something that she needs to copy. And being a cover band guy, nobody knows that better than me. I mean,
right,
certain solos have to be exactly like the record, and other solos you can meander and do whatever the hell it is you want.
right. Now let me ask you this, Sir Scott, and I think I have my own thoughts. Do you smell that at the end of this tour they'll try to record any fresh stuff?
Hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they
That's a whole different animal too now. So now
yeah,
then she'd be the creator, right? She wouldn't have to be
yeah.
copying anybody. She'd be her own self. I would love to hear that.
Yeah, I wonder, I I I don't think any of these older bands can do it at
Hmm.
this age. I think, I think they are done creatively after a certain age. I like even like an Elton John,
You know what it
just
is to
after.
me? It's a different animal. You're going out and touring and you're playing your old favorites and stuff, and
Mhm.
she's copying, the master, the professor.
Yeah.
To go in a studio and create new music with her,
She
different animal entirely. I think I don't know if it would sell. I don't know if anybody would have any interest in it.
I don't think they would. I think, and this is the one thing I'm interested in. I love, love, love Rush, even though I've never seen them. I own 2112. It might be the only Rush album I own, maybe Moving Pictures. But if you put on an album in either Spotify or Apple Music,
Mhm.
get beyond a little bit, and the
Yeah,
interest level of the writing, it gets really thin after
yeah.
a while.
And Neil was
Yeah,
writing lyrics too. Who's going to write all these
yeah,
great lyrics? So
yeah,
um, I don't. I feel like they're not interested in putting out a record.
yeah. I
I,
don't. Yeah,
it'd be cool if they put out maybe one cool song,
yeah,
maybe that they came up with. Um, I don't. Their writing process was so heavily influenced by Neil, with the writing, and they
yeah,
built a lot of the songs around the drumming.
yeah,
So their recording process would be completely different.
yeah. It's
Can they
true.
do it? Yeah, they could do it. Do they want to
But
do it? I don't know. I
probably
don't think
not.
so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Would it sell? I don't know. It's hard
Yeah,
to
I
say.
don't. I don't either. But I'm very, very, very excited to see them. I'm going to predict that sort of the hotness of the story will mellow out in a couple of weeks,
Yeah, yeah.
and then it becomes a regular tour, and then maybe it becomes more about Alex and Getty at that
But
point.
it's crazy. Like everything is making news when she dropped a stick,
Yeah,
right? Which every drummer, including myself, has dropped sticks. You got to drop at least one per gig, if not,
Multiple.
a couple times at
Yeah.
gigs.
Yeah.
And drummers have tried all kinds of tricks, taping them, shaving off the lacquer, so absorbs sweat, wearing gloves. Tico wears gloves, all kinds of, and you still drop sticks.
Right. Right.
That's just the way it is. But it made music news.
I know I think I don't think anyone who made these plans was expecting it to become this, but it became a very big story
Oh yeah,
and way more interest than if it was, like when what's his name? Steve Vai is trying to play Eddie Van Halen and stuff like that.
right.
That's just like another old dude, trying to fill the shoes of a sadly passed person.
Yeah.
This is completely
Yeah,
different.
this is not something new. You had Brad Gillis filling in for Randy Rhoads
Right, right.
when they first been back after Randy passed away. He was the first guitar guy that had to do that. Even Phil X we had on the show. He's like,
Yeah,
can I fill the shoes of Sambora? And is that even possible? He was saying, and they're like,
yeah,
it's possible. And I told John you were the guy.
yeah, that's it.
You should
Yeah.
definitely watch our interview with Phil because it was interesting.
I'm so
Phil
proud that he knows us.
Phil is so busy with Triumph. He was so busy with Van Halen, right? He was so busy with Triumph, and then he had to do rehearsals with Bon Jovi, and he had to kick Triumph to the curb for a couple of nights, and they put some other guy on stage instead of Phil.
Yeah.
He had a
And then
commitment he couldn't get out of.
but he's been on stage with Michael Anthony and Sammy, I think. I think I've seen him on
Yeah,
those too.
yeah.
He's everywhere. And
He's making quite a name for himself.
he's our quasi friend. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He's a 3-timer, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely 2 for sure. He's and he gave you the birthday greeting, which was really great. He's
Yeah.
just a super nice dude. Not
He
too big
is.
for his britches, as it were.
No, it's
And a
true.
master guitar player and creative guitar player, which
Mhm.
a lot of guys can play fast and shred, but Phil has this way about him, and he'll even tell you, like, yeah, I was using the whammy bar a little too much. I was a little too much like Van Halen.
Yeah, and he goes to the top of the neck and he'll depress the string beyond the nut.
Yeah, he took the whammy bar off, and he's like, I got to change my whole style of playing
Yeah.
because everybody started calling him like, oh, he's like a Van Halen wannabe or whatever.
Right, right. It's
Listen,
true.
when Stevie Ray Vaughan first came out, like, he's just
Jimmy.
he sounds like Hendrix. He's trying to be Hendrix. And then I heard Scuttlebutt, which was not anything like
At all.
Hendrix song, right? And then I was like, oh, wait a minute.
No,
Wait a minute.
he's Stevie Ray.
Why is he copying Jimmy's licks and tone when he could be doing his own thing? That was the turnaround point for me. Then I became interested. And of course, he's one of my all-time favorite guitar players.
Yeah, he's my very favorite.
Along with Johnny Winter should be in the Hall of Fame. End of quote.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you. I saw your clip on it. I think it was Johnny I saw. We'd have to Google it and figure out who.
If you're going back that far, yeah, it's very possible.
All right, I'm going to go on chat right now. You keep talking. I'm going to.
So another little music news in our little chat that I wrote a couple of notes to remind myself to talk about it. This is basically just like our phone calls.
Yes, it is.
So if you're lucky enough to have HBO, which I pay handsomely for every month, my HBO Max, Earth, Wind, and Fire documentary. Oh, I'm not a disco guy. I'm not a funk guy. I don't care about Earth, Wind, and watch it. I'm telling you right now, watch it. It was fantastic. Questlove put it together, and you had some great guests talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire, and just their story, their backstory, and how they came up, and how they struggled, and how they were kind of typecast, so to speak. Like, not all the radio stations would play them, and then they had this breakout hit, and then everybody was playing their songs. And then they said, oh, maybe we should do a disco song, and they put a disco song, and that did really well. But yeah, really, really cool. Johnny Winter, there you go.
And it's interesting. I accidentally did a search for 1978, and it was Nick Gilder who opened for them, Hot Child in the City.
Oh, you got to sit through a whole concert just to hear his one hit.
His one hit. I know.
You ever been to a concert where a band is opening and they have the one big hit that year?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you have to sit through all their shitty songs until they finally play whatever it is, whatever the big
Well,
song.
so when I was in college, I'm not good at pointing with this. I'm dyslexic. There we go.
It's
Todd and
backwards.
I, we went ironically to see Rick Springfield. And the guy who opened for him was Corey Hart. Remember that? I wear my sunglasses at
Yes.
night. So yes, I have seen those kind of concerts where that was his only song.
Here's a new song off my new record. Play sunglasses at night. Play sunglasses at night. Oh man. So
yes,
this guitar here is not a real Fender, believe it or not. But
I would have thought it was.
the Fender debacle is continuing to call attention to themselves, even where the CEO or a representative for Fender had to get online and, talk about why they're doing it and all this kind of stuff. But I don't know if it's a relatable thing.
Well,
But suddenly this week, Dean Guitars filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah, I don't know if that's related. I think it's more to do with what you have behind you. There's so much competition out there. But I represent people who are abused in nursing homes, so I don't do any kind of work in that realm. And by the way, I have talked to our common friend Jason, and we haven't connected yet. But we do. Scott and I have a friend who's a wonderful guitar player who actually does patent law. He's a lawyer.
Which is perfect.
Yeah.
To comment on all this Fender stuff and untangle it for us.
Yeah. Well, so we'll try to get Jason on if he could do it. If not, I'll pinch hit in an area that's it's 100% outside of my area of expertise.
All the podcasts I've seen, they only had one podcast that brought on a lawyer that knew what was what. Most of the other podcasts are just rants about what is Fender doing, blah, blah, blah. The same. And we're not going to rehash that. But when I saw Dean Guitars file for bankruptcy, they're not out of business. They're just restructuring their finances. But I think it's a lot to do with the competition. They primarily cater to the heavy metal guys, right? They had Michelangelo Badio was a Dean guy for a while. Then the late Dimebag Darrell was a Dean guy. The late Leslie West, he was a big Dean guitar guy.
I didn't know he was a Dean guy.
Kerry King of Slayer was a Dean guitar endorser. Michelangelo Badio went on to do a deal with Sawtooth Guitars. But Dean Guitars were the first company to make those outrageous double necks where the necks go out like this.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. That he was I saw him before he even got hugely famous at a guitar clinic, and I was like, who the hell is this guy?
You know what? I'm going to guess now they might be worth a couple of bucks now that they're going out of business, the used ones.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, now the Dimebag Darrell story related this week also, that the estate of Dimebag Darrell is making guitars. It's
really?
Going to be called Dime Guitars with a Z, the word guitar with a Z at the end. And they're going to be coming out with their own line of guitars.
Interesting. I just saw an old video of Frank Stallone for one of his hits. It showed up on my reels.
Oh, yeah?
His company was our guest a couple of years ago.
Right. Now, bootleggers selling their guitars on Frank's website, too. So there's a lot of cross-exchanging going on.
Here, I'm going to try to do this with the camera. Here, I just have mine. Yeah, can I do it like this? Let's see. There we go. There's my bootleggers right there.
Oh, just laying on the couch. That's
both
good.
of them.
Taking care. I just gave the Royale a makeover. Make sure the neck was straight when it was. Make sure the Floyd Rhodes was intonated, and it was. So basically, just had to put some new strings on, and I was off to the races. Played it last night. Sounded really good. At my weekly jam thing. I do it a bunch of guys here in Neptune just to keep my throat in shape and my guitar playing in shape. I sang everything all night long yesterday. The guy that normally sings couldn't show up, so I handled all the vocals. I was just singing songs I don't know really how to sing. Had the lyrics in front of me on the iPad. Very cool. I just read them off the thing. And
oh, that's good. Now, do you have a good studio space to jam in? Is it comfortable?
Really nice. Yeah, really nice. He's got the lights and everything. Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool.
Well, that is good stuff.
He's got amps down there, so I just had to bring my pedal board and guitars. That's it. So it's really
perfect.
He's got the PA and everything.
I just set up my bootlegger amp because I just reorganized my living room.
Yeah, Chuck wants me to do a review of that amp. So either gotta go to your
Oh,
house and
okay.
do it or something
Yeah, we'll
else.
do it here. We'll do it on Guitar Tales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So plug in and play and talk about it. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And they have all those new models coming out. Maybe we can work something out where I can get a because I was saying I love they've been sharing the videos of me playing the Royale, and I'm like, I'm really sad that you're discontinuing this model.
I know. It's a
It's
beautiful
like, don't
guitar.
worry, our other guitars are going to be just as great. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, so maybe we could work out a deal where they can send me one to play or review, and I'll send it back. But
Yeah.
to be continued on that front.
Well, I
Um,
love my bootlegger amp, I'll tell you that. And my 2 bootlegger guitars. So there you
yeah,
go.
yeah. Oddly,
And
I
my
only
bootlegger
had one
cab.
bootlegger, but it's so great that
Look,
I never really had to order another one. you know,
well, yeah, and the history, of course, is that when I showed you the 2 guitars, the one that's standing up, I bought on Facebook Marketplace,
right?
and then the history was that I just looked it up and said, "I'm gonna call the owner of this company." And
Yeah,
you and I
and
became friends
he's
for
like,
Chuck.
hello.
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
he was very Googleable, and he immediately became our friend.
yeah. So a lot of cool stuff going on there.
Yeah.
I'm think I'm gonna bring out the bootlegger. I hate to play that guitar outside,
No, you
but
gotta give it
but
some
I
use.
if I had it at MetLife Stadium at 34 degrees, I could bring it to Barre at 80 degrees,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you should. It's like if you own a '67 Mustang, you gotta use it once in a while.
It sounded so good last night. I was like, this
Yeah.
tone is amazing. I'm not even kidding.
No,
I
it's
bring
it's
all I bring I the cool thing about the weekly jam is I could just bring whatever guitar I have in my arsenal here,
yep.
and I got like 30 to choose from, so I could show up with anything. Last week I
Yeah.
showed up with the '79 Fender Stratocaster. This week I had the Royale and the Killer B Stinger, which I was just
That's a
showing off.
great guitar. Yep.
That got to work over this afternoon. Got the neck all straightened out, cleaned the fretboard, changed strings, all that stuff.
Well, that's good
Um,
stuff.
it was giving me trouble. And this is not Killer Bee's fault. It's my fault because I put a trem setter in it,
Okay.
which is like this little. It's called a mag lock. It kind of stabilizes the bridge because I have a detuner on it.
Okay.
I know I'm not speaking your language right now, but guitar players know what I'm talking about. If you pull the detuner out and the trem bar is not stabilized, the whole thing goes out of tune
Right, right.
because it's the tension is different, so everything gets messed up. So I fixed that. That got all taken care of today. That's all working. The detune is tuned up, which is tricky to tune a detuner.
I
First
bet
you
it is.
first you pull it out, you tune it to D,
Okay.
then you put it in and you tune it to E with a little tiny little Allen wrench on the unit on the little detune itself to bring it up to pitch, and then that's it. And it's perfect. You don't have to mess with it. It's always correct.
So tell us about that. So what is your favorite thing about it?
Well, because you can instantly go from regular tuning to a drop D tuning just by
Oh,
pulling the
that's
thing out.
fabulous.
It's as easy as pulling out a pin.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Or whatever tuning you're in. If you're it just drops it down a half step. Well, actually, it's more than a half step, isn't it? It's a whole step.
That's fabulous.
Yeah. So even if you're tuned to E flat, let's say, and you pull it out, you're going to go down a whole step,
So you
which is
go to
great.
R.
So previously, you had to retune your guitar, and if you have a Floyd Rose, you got to get another guitar. There's no way you can
Yeah, there's no way you can with
tune
that.
that down all the way down to D from an E.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. So it's perfectly in tune, and that's a Van Halen creation. He came up with that. I don't know how he came up with it, but he came up with it.
Well, he was very innovative. I think
It's
we spent a
simple
lot
and
of time.
ingenious, and it's really been
Yeah.
a game changer.
Yeah.
I used to have to bring like 3 guitars to a gig. Now I only bring like 2.
That is good. Yeah, with that kind of innovation, that's excellent.
Yeah, that saves me bringing a whole other guitar that's tuned to drop D with a Floyd
Yeah.
Rose because you can't really do that on the fly. You have
Yeah.
to just grab
No.
another guitar or
Yeah.
take the song off the set list.
That's right. Right. There's some practicalities involved there. It's true.
We'd have to
It's
look at the
true.
set list and like, can you move this drop D song over here? Because I would have to, I don't want to switch guitars mid set. There's all that kind of stuff. Now it doesn't matter.
That's a huge innovation.
Yeah, it's really great.
It is.
A lot of guys use them.
All right, I want to switch gears on us now.
Go ahead.
David Lee Roth.
Oh, David.
No, so we have it on our list. So here's my
Well, he was at the Stone Pony here in town. I didn't
yeah,
go see the show, but there was a lot of videos of my friends, putting on Facebook and stuff, and it was every bit as
cringeworthy.
crappy as expected. I mean, look, man, I feel like he just wants to see the fans, and he wants to get the enjoyment of hanging out with the fans, but he's not even singing the songs
No, he's not.
anymore.
But here's the thing that my psychological impression is this. On my feed recently, the video for Mean Streets came out. All right,
Right,
or not came out. And if you remember that video, he's a macho guy. He's well trained, in I guess Taekwondo.
right,
So he's doing the high kicks and all that. But he was a non-soft, non-silly badass, right? And that's who he was in real life, as far as I understand. He wasn't the nicest guy on the planet,
right.
but he was like this badass rock and roll guy who has a good enough voice to get by. He was a marketing genius, but at some point, even when he went solo, right after Van Halen broke up, he was still sort of like a badass guy. But at some point, this goofy personality came out.
Hmm,
Like
interesting.
I don't know what happened with him, but
Give
he's
me a box of glazed donuts and laxatives to go, or whatever he said.
oh, I don't
Oh,
even know that quote.
he was dressing up in all this makeup, and then
Yeah,
he did like a fat guy thing,
I don't remember any of that.
and then he was dressed up as this cannibal or whatever, this native with all this shit
But
on his
he at some point he went from being a tough guy to being like as goofy as like Tiny Tim.
head.
He's goofy now. And
Yeah.
he's very smart. You could tell he's a smart man, but his whole persona changed. He's silly on stage. He doesn't take himself seriously,
Yeah.
and that whole persona is way out the window. And it's not like he was that guy and mellowed. He became an entirely different guy, and he's just silly,
Mm.
and it's inconsistent, I think, with the music he's playing. Like, he could be mellow and just not sing it with the same verve
Mm.
that he had before. Now that would work, but he's become just a silly caricature of himself.
Mm.
If he even is that of himself, so like you look at him, he's got these silly outfits on.
Right.
He's being goofy on stage, and he just sort of walks around and talks.
I love the band doesn't give two shits. They're just playing a song from point A to point B,
Yeah,
and they're
and they're
singing
getting a
back to
paycheck.
and he's just walking around talking about whatever.
Yeah, he's no different or better than who's the old school guy from the 50s, who is a robot now. He's 90.
Oh, poor Frankie Valli. Yeah.
He's Frankie Valli.
They finally canceled his tour dates. For God's
Oh,
thank you.
did they really?
Yeah, I think they finally said enough is enough, dude. Come
But
on.
but
What are you doing?
David doesn't have a sense of timing anymore either.
Yeah.
Like it's not even that his vocals are dead. It's that his time he comes in wrong for everything.
Everything. Yeah. Everything.
And so it's almost like a speaking tour because
Yeah.
he's not performing.
I couldn't go. I couldn't pay money to go see that. It would
Oh
just.
God, no.
It's just too
Not even for
depressing.
the
It's
hilarity.
depressing. It's too depressing.
I know. I mean, he could literally tour with Corey Feldman.
Yeah. Who had
And
a
I don't even
medical
know
emergency on an airplane or something this week?
he did.
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Corey did or David did?
No, Corey.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I don't know what this medical emergency is,
But it's weird, like and I guess Dave is selling tickets. I don't know how.
he is. And you know what? Diehard fans want to see him. I get that, but just do a book signing or something. Don't go on stage.
I know. I agree. And I'm watching, I worked out today and I was listening to Van Halen for about the first half hour or so.
Mm.
And I had never really thought about, like we did the whole show, we did the round table. I think I'm more of a Roth era. I like Sammy better than Dave. But in terms of what they put out, I think I like the Roth era a little better.
Mm.
and it's not that he has vocal range or even had vocal range, but he did pretty well with what he had.
Right.
And I think there was a sort of what he did was more Van Halen than what Sammy did, even though I'm a huge Sammy fan.
Right.
And Sammy can still sing, Sammy can still play, Sammy is still quite Sammy.
I remember the first single like it was yesterday. I waited and waited and waited for the tape it on the radio. I got my tape player ready,
Mhm.
Then I heard that da-da, 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 da-da. What is this Ella Fitzgerald shit?
I know.
It's like, what happened? What happened to Van Halen? I was so upset. I didn't like it. I did not like that
Yeah.
song.
So which tune are you talking about?
Their very first release, their very first single when Sammy joined the band. Why
Oh,
Can't
yeah,
This Be
yeah.
Love? Tell me why can't this be love? And it has that little, it's got the keyboards in it. I like
Dun, 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 dun. I just heard that today. Yeah. And,
even
you
the
know
guitar was kind of like,
yeah,
where's
Eddie
the
took it
shredding?
back. He took his Eddie was playing the keyboards, of course, but
Yeah.
I remember in my senior year in college, I had 5150. Was that the first one they did?
Uh, I think so.
I
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like
5150.
and I enjoyed the hell out of the album, but it wasn't very Van Halen, but it was
Right.
still good.
Now the rest of the records got great
But
guitar work and stuff in it. But
but
that song that they released as a single, I was so disappointed.
yeah,
I go, what is this? You know?
yeah. And Sammy's 1,000 times the singer of Dave, and he's a guitar player, which Dave
Yeah.
isn't, you know. But I have to say, like, as I was going back today, as recently as this morning, and I'm just thinking, my favorite Van Halen tunes. I think they're
Right.
all from the Dave era.
Yeah.
You know.
Now when I saw Sammy, he was covering Dave's stuff.
Yeah, and he does a better job than Dave.
And he was, it was
You
really
know.
good.
And I've seen Sammy solo too. I've seen Van Halen with Sammy, and I've just seen Sammy. And I love that he has this whole nostalgia thing with Rick Springfield these days. And they're playing at the Garden State Arts Center together.
Are
I
they?
saw that. I saw it on the billboard when I was driving by.
Okay,
But
yeah.
yeah, so they'll be sharing.
It's come to the point where I drive by that billboard every day. And I
Yeah,
see the names pop up and I go, I have no fucking clue who that is.
I know there's a lot of people I don't know now. Yeah, and you'll notice
It doesn't say Styx or,
no,
Foreigner up there. It's just like John Doe and the Generics. Oh, I don't know who those guys are.
they're the best. They are the best. John Doe and the Generics. Yes,
Pete Moss and the Fertilizers.
that's a good name? Was that a band you were in?
That's an actual band. No, I saw.
Oh, I like that
I
name.
just saw Pete Moss and the Fertilizers. I think they're a blues group. Hi,
I
Pete Moss
did.
and the Fertilizers.
I did when ChatGPT first came out. I did a deep search for my first band, Bloody Smegma, before you and I were in a band. It found nothing. It didn't find.
Oh, it didn't turn
anything.
up anything? Oh, that's
No,
cool.
and they played after I left. They played City Gardens in Trenton.
Well, I always thought Nixon said it was a really cool punky name to have.
Yeah, well, they're our friend. Obviously, they were on our show.
Yeah.
They actually are recording an album right now.
Are they really?
They're back, and my buddy Fritz is doing some vocals for them. And Fritz actually used to arrange. He did a couple of movie scores, so he's a wonderful. He is one of the best musicians I've ever played with.
Wow.
Besides you.
Also, we could plug our other friends of the show. Steve Rosen, who wrote Tone Chaser, the Van Halen book. He wrote another book. He wants to come on and talk about his new book.
We will do that.
About Jeff Beck. Huh?
Oh, that would be very nice.
He had a decent relationship with Jeff and did a lot of interviews with him. So he just got a new book coming out. So he desperately wants to come on. Joe Barricata called me yesterday. Joe Barricata has been on the Van Halen Roundtable show, and he's the Joe Barricata band here in the Jersey Shore area. He's a very busy guy. He wrote a book.
Oh, I'd love to do that.
And he sent us an advanced copy of it, so we could take a look at that.
Well,
I'm not even sure what the book is about yet, but
all right. He's a neat guy. He's a very neat guy, and he's.
I'm like, you wrote a book? And I was like, I was really like taken back. So I'm really excited to read that as well.
Well, I will read that.
So both of those guys want to come on,
and we're going to work on. I'm going to call Jason back because I would love to get Jason on the show.
Yeah.
Now here's a Jason story. Whether or not he comes on, is so day one, no one in our immediate friend group plays any instrument. On
Right.
day something like 2 or 300, Jason is playing note for note "Mood for a Day" by Steve Howe on a guitar he personally built
I know.
in like 10th or 11th
Well, he
grade.
was in my band for
He
a little while,
was
and I was playing
before
keys,
me.
and we played 2 songs that in high school when we were seniors, and we brought the house down. We played Beethoven's Ninth Symphony in rock.
Oh,
Like
very nice.
that's really easy, right?
Yeah,
Rainbow covered it. So
I remember that.
he
Yeah.
played it note for note, and we did Light My Fire. He played it note for note.
He was, and I suspect still is, a fabulous guitar player. But he had a guitar that was similar to your '79 Strat. It was like a Strat type body. He built the
Mhm.
body, he bought the neck, and he just built a guitar and played,
Didn't he
yes,
build
note
his
for note.
own Heathkit amp or something?
I had a Heath kit. I don't think Jason built his own amp. I don't think he did.
Oh, we'll have to ask him.
But his guitar was, I mean, I remember that was a really nice guitar he built with no experience, no training.
Yeah,
YouTube didn't
he was
exist,
really accomplished very quickly. He could learn how to play just about anything.
and he
And
graduated.
that was in a day. For those who know or don't care, I didn't
Yeah.
start playing guitar till I was in college. So back then, I was
You
primarily a
were the
drummer
and
and
a keyboard
keyboard guy.
player.
Yeah,
You were when you and I were together, you were keyboard.
yeah,
Yeah. And with Jason, I think you were drum, I think.
keys, still
Oh, you
keys.
were your keys and Pete
Yeah,
was on drums.
right. Never sang a note. Now you can't shut me up.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Somebody was asking me, when did you start singing? I'm like, I didn't start singing until I was in the wedding band situation. I'm like, you got to sing back up vocal. I don't know. What do I, just ooh ah, just, and then they hear me singing. They're like, all right, you're singing this song, the lead. I'm going to take a break. I have a sore throat. You know how to
Right.
sing. You know how this song goes. I'm like, I don't know. I sang a Beatles song, uh, The Long and Winding Road. That was the first song I had to perform in front of people.
No, you have a
Not
good
easy.
but you have a good vote. You're a good singer,
Thanks.
and there's some songs you're good at. Some songs you're just made for, like "Born to Be Wild."
Yeah. I have
Um,
a very bluesy voice, but I have a tendency to do an impression of the singer I'm doing, which is
oh,
really
right.
not great for your throat. Last night I sang an Eddie Money song like Eddie Money, and the band was like falling on the floor laughing. I was two, t- 2 tickets to paradise, and I forget what the line is, but Eddie had that like New York kind of accent,
Right, right.
you know, and I was singing it like him, and they were just thought it was hilarious.
Oh, that is great.
And then we did another song where it's called Cracker Man by Stone Temple Pilots. There's a background answer vocal in it, which sounds like it's coming out of a radio, like that kind of tone.
Yep, yep, yep.
So in my arsenal of smoking jacket shit, because I always have weird stuff,
Kazoo.
I have a megaphone.
Oh, I love it.
I was singing the song, I was holding up the megaphone, I was singing the song, I hold up the they were just having the best time ever. We were having so much fun.
Oh, that's great.
Because I never sang these songs before ever in public or anything, not even
Right.
at home. So I was having fun playing them, singing them for the first time, reading the words right off the iPad. Mooch, sorry, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It's permitted. I'm gonna allow it, despite what Mooch says. I'll permit it.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we blabbed for 50 minutes. I don't know who the hell's gonna watch us talk for 50
No,
minutes.
we'll get some clips out. Here's the funny thing I was gonna share with you before the show. I'll share now. Um, so my girlfriend's daughter, who's 27, maybe 28, she's getting ready to go to the Mets game.
Right.
Same night that the Knicks end up winning, right?
Mhm.
And she does a little TikTok, and she has her hair bedazzled. Let's go Nixon 5 on one side of her head, and then let's go Mets LGM on the other side. That's the whole video. As of this morning, 1 million views. I thought I would share that with you. So not like a few thousand, a
Yeah.
million. Right now, she's probably at 1.5 million.
Well, the Guitarmicist got a big payday from Facebook, most money I ever made in my life on Facebook. I got a check for $100.
That is fabulous.
from some post, and I don't even know what post it is. Maybe it's all the posts combined.
That's
Uh,
wonderful.
Guitar Tales, not so much.
That's all right. That's all right. But the thing is, rock and I mean this, I'm not even being silly now. Rock and roll when you and I grew up was, this much. I can't even get it on camera because I'm an old fart. This much of the market segment. We're this much of the market now, right?
Mm,
But it's an important segment of the musical rainbow, maybe, and it's an important component of it, and pieces of it persist in all forms of music and
yeah,
movies, commercials, and the like. And I think you and I, along with countless others, but in a way that's unlike others, we're creating a video history
mm,
of a segment of that I think will can persist much longer than you and I are vertical, so to speak.
yeah, of course.
And this show that you and I started nearly 7 years ago. We're just about there. I think we are at 7 years now.
We are.
We're taking a certain segment of rock and roll, going from relatively famous, couple of really famous, and then hardworking, caring people who love the craft, who love the music. And over these 7 years, we probably have 150 hours of content. We're chronicling, we're creating a library of people who have toiled at this with love in this area.
Hmm.
And even when we don't get quite as many clicks, we're connecting with like a certain segment of people because
Yeah.
like my neighbor, his what would it be, a boyfriend-in-law, his divorced relative is dating some guy our age
Oh God.
in Philly who's a gigging drummer in an active band.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, I love your show. Just some random guy in Philly. He
Huh.
knows us.
Okay.
I
Cool.
just go across the street. I'm having beers with him. He knows our show. He loves our show.
Yeah,
So,
I usually get some kind of instant messages from people I haven't talked to in a long time. Somebody said, um, "Hey, I didn't know your dad played with all those different musicians over there." I was like, "Yeah, he was a big deal back in the day." You know. So yeah, they're watching, they're listening. We appreciate you.
yeah.
Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and all that stuff. Doesn't cost anything. Helps out the show a lot. I noticed our little subscriber meter is dwindling a little bit, you know, which is
Well, that's only on one of the platforms, but
right. The other
we'll
platforms are going up, but YouTube is going down a little
yeah.
bit, but that's okay.
Yeah, and
I don't
I
think I've
haven't
ever unsubscribed from any channel that I subscribed to
no.
initially, so I'm not sure what
It
that
might
was.
be some funkiness with YouTube, where they just do that to people.
Yeah.
But, if you look on Facebook, years ago, we were getting metrics where 3/4 of a million people
No,
were
there's a lot.
seeing our
Yeah, there's
show,
a lot of views. They just don't pay us any money.
which is it is our labor of love,
It
not
is. It is.
so, and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. I was just gonna say something. Oh, that fact that even at this stage of the game, listening to the same rock and roll songs over and over again, I appreciate when I sit down and I go, you know what, I'm gonna learn that little riff, and I go, this is way more complicated than I thought it would be.
Yeah. That's
So I
what
was,
Bumblefoot told us.
yeah, Tom Schultz from Boston. I was
Oh
playing
my god.
more than a feeling this afternoon. I never really sat down and learned it. Like everybody's like, it's one of the songs you learn when you're first starting guitar. Well, that little intro riff is way more complicated than most people play it.
I
Number
bet, yeah.
one. Number two, the solos are more complicated than I thought.
And then the vocals are
And
outstanding
then
for that matter.
forget it. The vocals
Yeah.
are insane.
Well, they did all go to MIT, so
Yeah. Yeah.
they're no dummies in that band. Yeah.
So I was fooling around with that this afternoon, and I think after 26 takes, I finally got the solo good enough where I could just post it because it's so good.
Yeah, it is.
It's such a great solo, and there's harmony guitars and
That
he's doing little harmonics and stuff that I didn't really know were in there that I discovered.
that intro album is as good. I mean, it's a perfect album.
And
It's
and
literally
here's
perfect.
your homework, guitar players. I want you to find out how to play Smoke on the Water properly. Everybody play it. It's easy. It's the first song I ever learned. I learned one finger Smoke on the Water, then I did the power chords. No, you're wrong. I found Richie Blackmore playing it, teaching you how to do it, and it's the furthest away from the way I thought it was.
It is funny.
And when you play it the right way, you can hear all these little harmonics popping through.
It's funny. He is so arrogant when he talks about that. He's like, it's like a classical piece.
But it's way different. Up on the neck. He's not down here. He's way up here with two notes.
I know. He compares it to a piece of classical music, and I'm not saying he's wrong, but he, as a human being, is so arrogant.
Yeah.
maybe
we learned that when
deservedly
read Steve Rosen's book and the story of how and when Van Halen, who was a massive Richie Blackmore fan, wanted to meet Richie, and Steve set it up, and it was a complete fucking disaster. That's all I want. I don't want to give it away, but the book is phenomenal, and I can't wait to read Steve's new book.
Yes, too. That will be great.
So we're gonna have him on again, and with that. 1 hour.
I think it's time. 1 hour. We hit it. We hit it, my friend.
Okay.
And I got a sleeping dog in my lap right here. Look at this.
Great.
There he is.
I bet my dogs are asleep.
Yeah. My guy, this is my daughter's dog. My guy's upstairs.
So we end the show a lot with Bumblefoot, which is great. We ended the show at Mariah Formica a few weeks ago, and they silenced the end of the video.
Did they really?
Even though I said we have permission from the girl that wrote the goddamn song.
Oh, that's funny. Let's do it again.
You really want to see the video?
Let's see what happens.
All right. Here we go. Plush, Mariah Formica. Here we go. Good night, everybody.
There we go. Good night.
Hey, what's going on? This is Mariah Formica from the band Plush, and you're watching Guitar Tales with Dave Cohen.